Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Talking some Colorado football as Coach Prime continues to make moves on the recruiting trail. And again, it seems like we're talking a lot of Coach Prime. It is, and you guys know how I feel about it. I think it's the coolest story going in college football as we head into the 2023 season. And we're not talking a commitment. We're talking Coach Prime, Deion Sanders holding his first junior day as the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. And the amount of talent that he's going to have on campus, or at least projected to be having on campus this weekend, is very, very impressive. And we talked at the beginning of this hiring process. Colorado's bringing in Coach Prime to not just turn around this program and go 6-6 in the Pac-12. They're looking to bring back national championships to Boulder, and Coach Prime is tasked with bringing in the talent to do so. That is like the main reason why he was hired at Colorado. Is this dude he could be the best recruiter in college football. He might already be the best recruiter in college football. The talent coming into Colorado this weekend, we're going to talk about some of the key targets. Before we do, though, I just want to say thank you to you guys again. Talking Colorado football, talking Deion Sanders has been extremely exciting. You guys are all interested in it. I'm interested in it. And the support you guys have shown truly does mean a lot. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. I've aggregated all the big-time targets that are visiting Colorado this weekend. Excited to get into it. So let's start off with the 2024 guys because, again, that's the majority of these guys are 2024 kids. There are also some really impressive 2025 targets as well. And as you guys know, if you watch or follow college recruiting a lot, like you don't play for the one-year game. Like you always have to be thinking multiple years down the road in terms of building out your roster and personnel. And that is what Coach Prime is doing. Let's start off with the 2024 targets. And again, I listed the top couple kids who are coming. It sounds like there's going to be about 25 to 30 dudes coming on campus. I kind of picked the top guys according to 24/7 Sports, some of the guys that I'm really intrigued by. And it starts off with wide receiver Ryan Wingo from St. Louis, Missouri. This guy has offers from pretty much every team in the entire country. I know the SEC absolutely loves him. There's a lot to like about him. 14th nationally according to 24/7 Sports. 6'2", 205 pounds. Again, in terms of playmakers on the outside, Ryan Wingo is one of the best in the class, and there's a reason why all the SEC schools wanted him. He's big, and he's extremely, extremely dynamic. When he has the ball in his hands, he's very, very hard to bring down, and he can be a guy that I could see being like 6'3", 220, and almost like that A.J. Brown freakish body because he's already big for a junior in high school, 6'2", 205. The movement skills that he has is really impressive. He's a guy that you're just going to want to get the ball to and let him be an animal. Number 2, Brandon Barker, offensive tackle from Santa Ana, California. This is another interesting one because they're having a lot of modern-day kids and St. John Bosco kids from California visiting. Now you see the Bellflower guys. They're also coming in from St. John Bosco as well. So I love when college teams recruit guys from those high schools, because they're pretty much already in college programs. I mean, St. John Bosco, modern day, even the IMG Academy in Florida as well. Those guys are already introduced into collegiate strength and conditioning, collegiate practices. And so you see them not struggle as much taking that step from high school ball to the college football level. Brandon Baker, he's a guy that got to put on some weight, but the frame you love. And there's a reason why he's a top 75 dude nationally, 6'5", 285 pounds. Probably when he's playing his senior year in college football or high school football, probably will be around 300 pounds, but very, very good athlete for his size. And again, one of the best offensive tackles in the class. And that's kind of the position group you want to see Colorado attack more. They got a lot of talent in the transfer portal in terms of skilled players, wide receivers, defensive backs. That's probably not going to be a problem. What you want to see Colorado continue to be able to do is recruit the trenches. Brandon Baker is one of those guys who will help that. Xavier Jordan, wide receiver, 6'1", 165 pounds from Los Angeles, California. You see a lot of kids from California. That is a very talented state. Coach Prime obviously getting after the state of California, 74th nationally. He's an absolute speedster. Obviously, you like to see him put on a little bit more weight at 165 pounds. But again, keep in mind, these kids are juniors in high school. When I was a junior in high school, I weighed like 140 pounds. Maybe not even. That might be generous. I mean, I was no 5-star athlete. But again, these guys are still developing. They're still growing. And you expect that weight to go up, especially when they get to their college program. That's when you really start seeing the weight kind of get put on. Kalen Fox from Loganville, Georgia. He's another interesting one. Kind of an athlete, 6'4", 208 pounds. You could see him playing on the offensive side of the ball, see him playing on the defensive side of the ball. almost seems like an edge guy to me. He's got really, really good length. Again, 208 pounds, a little small, but you don't know what he's going to look like as a senior. Very, very intriguing dude. Kingston Vilama Asa, linebacker, 6'3", 230. When you talk about guys who are ready to play college football right now, that's him. Like, you don't see many juniors in high school, 6'3", 230 pounds, from St. John Bosco, excuse me. Marcellus Williams, cornerback, 6 foot, 176, 68th nationally, also from St. John Bosco. You're starting to see guys, again, recruiting out of that high school. And if you can start getting some of those guys on campus, it's going to be really, really big, especially from those powerhouse schools. Getting some of those recruiting pipelines will be very, very important for Coach Prime, and you're seeing him kind of do it. Marcellus Williams, you seem like almost any cornerback that is considering coming to Colorado, like Coach Prime's in the driver's seat with that recruitment. Because if you're a cornerback, you want to go play for one of the best to ever do it at the NFL level. You want to go get coached by one of the best to ever do it at the college level. Boo Carter is another interesting one. Again, more of an athlete, 5'10", 185 pounds, from Tennessee. Miles Lockhart, another athlete. And then Aiden Bernard. Again, recruiting those trenches is going to be important. Another guy who's ready to play college football right now, 6'5", 290 pounds, 79 nationally. The thing I want to know is that Colorado hasn't seen this much talent consider coming to their program, maybe in their program's history. You're seeing multiple guys. They might have 10 to 15 guys who are top 100 kids, according to 24/7 Sports, on campus next week. I don't even know if a top 200 guy even went on a visit to Colorado the last 5 years, and now they're all flooding in. And what does this mean? I think the more top fives you make, the more official visits you have guys going on, like, the better your recruiting is going to be. And even if they don't land all these guys, the fact that they're taking official visits, taking pictures with the jerseys, that's going to help recruiting more other classes and other players from that class as well. And you take a look at the 2025 targets as well. You know, college football is the long game. All of these guys are top 50 nationally. Jordan Davison from Mater Dei, 14th nationally, 5'11", 210 pounds. Jaden Hudson from Pittsburgh, California, the same high school I believe that Jaden Rashada went to, 6'2", 175 pounds. Phillip Bell and Nasir Wyatt also rounding out that group, both from California. Two things you kind of want to know. One, a lot of kids from California coming to visit Colorado. When you talk about competing in the Pac-12, it starts with recruiting the best kids from the West Coast. That's normally the state of California. Coach Prime is doing that. Another thing to note, Coach Prime has had a very, very good hit rate with guys who are coming on campus and committing. Like, a lot of guys through the transfer portal, Kermani McLean could probably be included on that. They go visit Colorado. They ain't leaving Colorado, or not many guys were leaving Colorado without committing to Coach Prime and going to play for Coach Prime in Boulder, Colorado. So when you see all these names heading to Colorado, Coach Prime's been converting on a lot of guys who are stepping foot on campus. And again, the reason why, and I don't know nothing about being cool. I'm not the coolest guy ever. But when I look at Coach Prime, I know he's cool. And guys want to go play with him. They connect with him. And again, a lot of you guys have been talking about it. Parents want their kids to go play for Coach Prime. These five-star parents, like, they feel comfortable giving their kids to Coach Prime to develop not only as players but people. And that's what you're seeing Coach Prime really not take advantage of, but really capitalize on. Is he's developing these young men on and off the football field. That's a massive, massive selling point. You got to think NIL is also going to play a part, because again, there are going to be a lot of eyeballs on this Colorado football team. I said this last time we talked Colorado. I didn't watch a single Colorado game the last 2 years. I watched maybe 5 minutes of the TCU game last year. I'm going to be watching every single game Colorado is playing till Deion Sanders, as long as Deion Sanders is coaching there. He's an exhilarating guy. He's what is great about college football. I'm very excited to see how this team turns around. And again, we like to talk about projections for next year. It looks like I thought 8-4 was crazy when Coach Prime first took this job. And I said 6-6 or 5-7 would be a very good season for Colorado. The weeks go on, and I'm saying, like, nothing sounds crazy anymore. Like, I could see Coach Prime competing for a Pac-12 title year one. Do I think he's necessarily going to win it? Not necessarily, because I do think Oregon, Washington, USC, this Pac-12 is probably as good as we've seen in a very long time. But the 8-4, the 9-3 records don't seem as crazy, because this roster's turning around extremely fast. He's done a phenomenal job in the transfer portal already. I expect him to do a very good job when that portal opens again after spring ball as well, once he gets the chance to evaluate what he's got in-house and get some more guys to round out that depth chart. Again, one of the most exciting stories to talk about. You guys have been absolutely locked in on it. And again, we appreciate the support you guys are showing. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.